أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إذا وقعت الواقعة ليس لوقعتها كاذبة خافضة رافعة إذا رجت الأرض رجا وبست الجبال بسا فكانت هباء منبثا وكنتم أزواجا ثلاثة فأصحاب الميمنة ما أصحاب الميمنة وأصحاب المشأمة ما أصحاب المشأمة والسابقون السابقون أولئك المقربون في جنات النعيم ثلة من الأولين وقليل من الآخرين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا حمدا والشكر لله شكرا شكرا على نعمة الإسلام وبالأخص نعمة الهداية والالتزام، وأصلي وأسلم على خير الأنام محمد بن عبد الله عليه خير الصلاة والسلام. All praise is to Allah and all thanks are to Him for the blessing of Islam and especially for the blessing of guidance. My brothers and sisters in Islam, Salamullahi alaykum wa rahmatuhu wa barakatuh. Inshallah, in this episode we're going to talk about the fiqh rulings of Al-Basmalah. But before I start, I want to give some pieces of advice to the students of knowledge and to those who are ulama or Islamic speakers, or those who speak to people and tell them about Islam. The first piece of advice to the students of knowledge. It's my first time here in this episode or in this channel talking about fiqh. And I found that many of the students of knowledge, they're very attached to the scholars themselves, not to the pieces of evidence. So when they love somebody so much, they would think that the haqq is with him all the time. So when you tell them, okay, this is the dalil, they say, no, my shaykh said so and so. And this is, wallah, it's not from Islam. And in the hadith that's written in Al-Bukhari, narrated by Ibn Abbas, where he was in the Hajj, and he was talking to some people and telling them what they're supposed to do. And then some of them, they said, but we heard Abu Bakr and Umar saying this and this. And he got very mad, Ibn Abbas. He said, I say to you, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said so and so, and you're saying to me, Abu Bakr and Umar, do you want a torture comes from the sky on you? And subhanallah. See, even though Umar radiallahu anhu, Abu Bakr, they're very great companions and scholars at the same time. But Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam comes first, and he's on the top of the top. And the Quran of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So look at how Ar-Rasul and how Ibn Abbas try to make people attached to. They're trying to make them attached to Allah and the teachings of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Some people today, they will say, oh, Shaykh so-and-so said so-and-so. I say, do you know the dalil? They said, no, but he said so. Subhanallah. They focus on the title of the person, whether he's Mufti, Maulana, Shaykh, whatever. They focus on the title and they ignore the content. They ignore the dalil from the book of Allah and the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And this is, wallah, is misleading. And the second piece of advice to the ulama or to the students of knowledge who give and teach people, don't deal with the people or don't deal with the listeners and the audience as a herd of sheep, where you have to tell them, okay, this is it, and go. No, let them get used to talking back to you, asking you more questions about what you're saying, because we must attach people to the book of Allah and the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And one of the ulama who died, may Allah have mercy on him, his name is the Shaykh Muhammad ibn Uthaymeen. This Shaykh, he's from Saudi Arabia. And I like him so much because he teaches his students how to have a different opinion, but if they have a piece of evidence. And we have two kinds in the principles of fiqh. we have an opinion that's called valid opinion and an opinion that's called invalid opinion. The opinion that's valid, the opinion that's based on a piece of evidence. And the opinion that's invalid, the one that's based on nothing, based on your opinion or your desires. Allah musta'an. So, or like weak or fabricated hadiths. So we have to be very, very careful. And now inshallah we're going to start talking about the fiqh rulings of Al-Basmalah. The ulama, all the ulama agreed that Al-Basmalah should not be recited in the chapter of At-Tawbah. Because the chapter of Tawbah, there is no Al-Basmalah in it. Because At-Tawbah and the chapter of Al-Anfal, they are one surah, they are together. So that's why At-Tawbah doesn't have Al-Basmalah. So they agreed on this. But before I start and going over the opinions of or the opinions on Al-Basmalah, I want to say something, and I want everybody to memorize this sentence, because wallah, this sentence is the best sentence. They said the disagreement of the contemporary ulama will never affect the consensus of the previous ulama. What does it mean? It means if the contemporary ulama disagreed on something, so it will not affect what the previous ulama agreed on. For example, if the Abu Hanifa, may Allah have mercy on him, and Imam Malik, may Allah have mercy on him, and Imam Ahmed, may Allah have mercy on him, and Imam Shafi'i, may Allah have mercy on him, if they agreed on something, and somebody else came in this era and he said, oh, actually, it's wrong. And I said, okay, where's your dalil? So, well, I don't have dalil, but I'm alim. I spent 7 years to take the mufti title. So, look, we say, whatever you said, it will not affect the consensus of the previous ulama. So, the ulama differed, or they have 3 different opinions on Al-Basmalah in terms of whether it's from the Quran or not. The first opinion is the opinion that says Al-Basmalah is a part of Al-Fatiha. It's a part of Al-Fatiha, and it's one of the signs of Al-Fatiha. And their dalil is the hadith that's narrated by Ad-Darqutni wal-Bayhaqi through the narration of Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu wardah. And this hadith strengthened by scholars of hadith, and one of them is Shaykh Al-Albani. And this hadith written in the book called As-Silsila As-Sahihah, where the Prophet ﷺ says, whenever you read Al-Fatiha, read Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, because it's from their ayat. This is the first hadith. And the second opinion is that Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is a part in each surah in the Quran. And their dalil for this is what Abdullah ibn Mubarak, gave his opinion based on, which is the hadith that's in Bukhari and Muslim, and narrated by Anas bin Malik radiyallahu anhu, where the Prophet ﷺ, he was napping, and then all of a sudden he woke up. He said, I just received a surah, a surah revealed, or got revealed to me. And then they asked him, what's a surah? And he started with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar, fasalli li rabbika wanhar, inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar. So he started with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So the Imam Abdullah Mubarak al-Mubarak, he said, because of this, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is a part of each surah in the Quran. And the third opinion, and this is the opinion that Abu Hanifa, may Allah have mercy on him, and Imam Malik and Ibn al-Arabi and the majority of the scholars of fiqh, they tend to this opinion, where they said Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is not a part in any surah of the Quran. It's put there to divide the Quran from each other, and to have the barakah when you start reading the Quran. So this is the reason why Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is there. And their dalil is the hadith that's written in Muslim, narrated by Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I have divided Al-Fatiha between me and my slave into 2 parts. And then he says, he started with Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. He didn't say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So because of this dalil, they said Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is not a part of Al-Fatiha. It's not a part in any surah from the Quran. And this is for today, inshallah. And bi'idhnillah, for next episode, we're going to talk about the difference and the distinction between Al-Basmalah and At-Tasmiyah. And Jazakumullah khair for listening.